Hi again, hand readers. In this week's video, I'm talking about the 5-realm model, which is the counseling and coaching infrastructure, which within the 5-element system of how to read hands is the advised way to present your delivery. This is a way to take your palm reading to a new level. I call it the evolution of palmistry. This question of how to counsel and coach with hand reading is the least spoken about area of hand reading. You won't find mention of counseling and coaching in palmistry books for the most part, if at all. And my personal sense is, as I've mentioned before in several videos, that the counseling and coaching or the delivery of your findings is at least 1/3 of your work. You want to be doing that in the finest way possible. And in today's video, I'll endeavor to explain how we utilize this wonderful construct or model. My name's Jennifer. I live in Johannesburg. I've been reading hands and teaching and writing about palmistry and chirology for 30 years. If you'd like to look into my material, I have written 5 books actually, or you'd like a reading with me, or you'd like to study with me, please contact me. You'll find my info at the end of the video. The 5-realm model is intrinsic to the 5-element system of how to read hands, which is where an element is ascribed to every form, every feature, every marking on a set of hands. But this particular model goes beyond the hand itself. What the model does is that it holistically encompasses, defines, and classifies all areas or all realms of human experience, defined by the physical, the emotional, the vocational, the mental, and the spiritual. And each of those in turn are governed by an element, and then further break down into component parts or clusters which pertain to those particular element areas, levels, or realms. The earth level, which has to do with our physical experience, is linked to our health, to our family dynamics, to money, and several other criteria. The water level, which of course links to our emotions, has to do with our social interface, relationships, intimacy, and our emotional wellness. Our fire level, which is the creative stroke vocational realm, that has to do, of course, with creativity as well as with life purpose and other things too, which I'll be sharing in due course. On the air level, we talk about the intellect, the mental capacity, the educational background of the person, how they communicate, and several other criteria as well. And then lastly, at the top, the chi level, which has to do with a person's religious and spiritual life. That is just a basic introduction, and in future videos, I will break them down more individually. Happiness, of course, depends for all of us on a balanced interrelationship between the elements of our lives. And if there's an excess of one, there'll be consequences in the other. For example, a workaholic will have problems at home in their relationship, or a person for whom money is the highest value will perhaps have some deficit in their spiritual life. What we do is we point out the consequences and the repercussions for the client in terms of which area of their life is out of harmony or out of balance. By systematically addressing each realm and doing an analysis in each realm, we really do open the way for deeper inquiry into the person's life. We help them to understand which of their life realms need more focus, more attention, perhaps more insight, perhaps more acceptance. By the end of the reading, we will be able to ascertain with the help of the client which areas of their life has been discussed to their satisfaction. And also the model really does guarantee that the reading is not a hit and miss affair. From a practical perspective, it's quite recommended to utilize the 5-realm model as an interactive process. Absolutely fine to show your client the list of how the 5 realms break down, and that way they get an overview of their lives. They get to see which are the component parts of their lives. Each of the realms has various areas or markers on the hands that take the reader into that dimension, take them into that particular conversation. But the features of the hands themselves do not directly relate to the 5-realm model. It is the dialogue and how the dialogue is woven that we're really concerned with here that brings it into the context. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but it's not particular to the hand. In other words, the water finger is not specific to the water realm. The earth finger is not particular to the earth realm, or the earth-shaped hand is not particular to the earth realm. Basically, any marking could take us into any area of the realms, but it is the construct of the realm that gives us that context. Of course, structures of human experience are presented in models in many different coaching systems. As I'm sure you know, there's the coaching wheel, the famous coaching wheel, where each facet is accorded a different area of people's life. And then through basically assessing through that wheel which part of your life is excessive, which is in deficit, that way one can see where needs more harmony brought in. And of course, our 5-realm model is very similar. In hand reading, there is the Life Purpose Life School system that Richard Unger uses. You might have heard of that. He's the American hand reader. And that is the closest I've come to any other model within the hand reading world. Through becoming conscious of the interplay, the interweaving of our layers of experience, we really do have an opportunity to see how well we're doing or not. It gives us the guidelines to accurately and quickly pinpoint people's areas of struggles, their strengths, their weaknesses, their joys, and their disappointments. So we attempt within the construct of this model to provide support and guidance on every level. In essence, the 5-realm model provides the context for the interpretation, delivery, your diagnosis, your inquiry, and your entire conversation. Thank you so much for watching and listening. In next week's video, I'll be talking about the Earth realm and breaking it down still further. In this week, I've just tried to present the basic construct, and I'll take it deeper next time, and then for the next consecutive 5 weeks, in actual fact, where I'll go into each realm. So it'll be Earth next week, then water, then fire, then air, and then finally Chi. Bye for now.